Hi Capricorn, and welcome to your April reading. Great to see everybody again, and I hope that this month is getting off to a really good start for you. For those of you that are new, just a reminder that you can use this for your rising moon and your sun sign, of course, which is what I developed it for. Also, this month we're in a retrograde cycle, so a Mercury retrograde cycle. So with that, I want to do a little bit of a focus at the beginning on the opportunities of Mercury retrograde. I think there's a lot of videos that focus on the negative aspects, but the opportunities in Mercury retrograde include the ability to resolve old issues that exist in relationships. So if you've had a falling out or something ended on a note that didn't feel good, this is your chance to go back and sometimes do some healing. You may notice that this may happen with or without your desire for it to happen. So you might run into an old friend or an old lover at the grocery store, or out of nowhere you may get someone requesting to be friends on Facebook. So this is a month where the past rears its head in sort of unlikely places, and the most important thing to do when that happens is just sort of take a deep breath and think, that's right, it's retrograde. Why is this coming back? Is it so that the other person can let go? Is it so that I can let go? Is it so that we can maybe heal and get back together? It can be a beautiful thing. The other thing is, if there's unfinished business in your life, literally with your business, like at work, or maybe just stuff around the house that you've been meaning to get to, this is a great time to finish up those to-do list items. The other thing that can sometimes be healed is any sort of habits in your life that aren't suiting you. So if you wanted to cut out salt in your diet, or stop smoking, or stop drinking, or overcome any other sort of addiction, this is a really good month to put that into action. So those are great things that can happen this month. We always tend to sort of hear bad news about retrograde, but it's the universe coming back and saying, hey, I want to help you, and I'm trying to hold you accountable for these items. What do you want to do about it? So we get uncomfortable in retrograde because we don't want to deal with a lot of these things. It's like, hey, I haven't seen that person forever. I don't want to see them ever again. But once you kind of have an interaction, you think, I guess I kind of don't care anymore, or I don't feel anything. And then suddenly you're free. So go with it, go with the flow. You might be surprised that you feel much better after retrograde is done, because you've cleared everything out a little bit. So your channeled information this month, something that I receive when I basically meditate on your sign and then pick out the cards that I'm going to use. For you, it was to be open to the act of receiving, and it is something that a lot of people have a hard time doing. It's easy sometimes to give or to take, but to receive is to sort of appreciate what's coming to you and not to fight it and not to question the motives and everything. So if it feels good and if it's coming from someone who's generous, all you have to do is say thank you and really mean it. And also, if you're at a point where you tend to take on a lot yourself, don't be afraid to ask and then receive the help, and don't feel guilty for receiving the help. So delegate, lean on some other people, and realize that's part of good relationships is give and take. Okay, so now let's take a look at your cards for this month and see what information's coming through for you. For those of you that are new, that I do separate this into 3 parts. We just went through the channeled portion. I also take a look at the main energy for the month through a Celtic cross, which we're pulling at the moment. And then I'll expand the forecast to include health, wealth, love, and destiny cards at the end. This gives you a chance to really understand all the main things that are affecting your life at the moment. One thing that I'm seeing for Capricorn this month, and it doesn't surprise me because it's one of the things your sign does well, but there's a lot of hard work going on, and I want to caution you to not overdo it too much, because I see the 10 of Swords here in your periphery, and that can actually show that because of exhaustion or because of not taking care of yourself, sometimes even nutrition issues can pop up. So you need to eat properly, sleep properly, and make sure that if you have any aches and pains in your body, that you're taking care of it. Your catalyst this month, the card that really is setting everything in motion and also ties everything together, is Fortune. And this is slightly different than the Wheel or Fortune. This is actually specifically just about money, about feeling confident in what you have, for some of you, it's trying to find your way to security. So we'll take a look at that and see how it affects the cards in front of us. Your central card is Ten of Pentacles, so that fits in with fortune. Some of you are in a very good place where you've amassed a decent amount of money and are trying to figure out what to do with it. For some of you, it's not that you've saved a lot, it's that you need a lot, because the Ten of Pentacles card, you'll notice this guy's kind of stressed out. It's all about family and taking care of family. Even if you're single, you might have an elderly parent, or you may have responsibilities that you're trying to take care of. So for many of you, and we also have the Princess of Pentacles here, there's a need to get more money so that you can take care of this, or so that in the long run you're trying to build a fortune for yourself, build a legacy. So it feels like this is good energy to put your time and effort into, because crowning card, King of Pentacles. So if you really want this, I feel like it's within reach. The only problem for some of you is that you're in a moment right now of either recovery or needing to basically relook at some of your investments, because the Seven of Pentacles in reverse usually shows either debt recovery, or sometimes it's about looking at your investment portfolio and making sure that everything's okay. Now, the other thing is Pentacles are about resources too, so we're looking at time and energy. So I feel for some of you, there's a need to cut, to prune, to release some things. There's a reluctancy for Capricorn this month. So I want you to think about why it is you're holding on to certain things in your life, and if all of them are helping you. If anything isn't, and this is a common message this month, then it might be time to step away. When we look at your contributing factors from the past year and the past couple months, it's been a moment here where you're feeling like you're better, you're more on track, but there's still some wanting, some wishing, some dreaming, and not feeling like you've quite caught up to where you thought you would be right now. And so there's a little bit of impatience, there's a little bit of regret in this card. And so what I would say is there's so much that it looks like you've accomplished and that you've done. Take a moment to appreciate that and to express some gratitude, and think, why is it that you're unhappy? Hey, sometimes you get really far in a career and decide, you know what, I think I got to do something else. There's nothing wrong with that. And if that's where you're at, that's fine. But otherwise, you may just be being too hard on yourself, or you might be listening to external feedback from other people, because we have the Princess of Swords here in reverse, which can be showing some negative feedback coming in and sort of like hitting at your own self-confidence. Some of you are basically facing right now a little bit of fear in your life. In your ego position, we have the Two of Swords, and this is when there's not a clear answer or a clear, easy way out of something. And the only way out is to sort of choose a path, the best one that you can, and not question yourself too much. You can either stay stuck and panicked or angry, or you can start taking movement towards what you think is a good solution. And at least that is bringing you a little bit forward and getting you out of this stalemate. I absolutely encourage you to just take, since we're in the weekend right now when this is being published anyway, take a day or two and relax. If you're seeing this later in the month, I want you tonight to try to just relax for an hour or two and do something like a bubble bath or a walk, or go to bed an hour early. Do something that's purely for your body. It's going to help you think of your body as a battery, the shell of a battery. You got to take care of that so you're not like leaking out energy. And the other thing is you have to refuel it. So I feel like there's been so much work going on, and there's still going to be a lot to do this month. Think of it as a long distance run, not a sprint, and you're going to need to every single night take care of yourself. Eat properly, sleep properly, and try not to overdo it with caffeine. The end of the month is looking much better for you than probably the middle, which is where the most work is and the most discomfort. We have the King of Swords at the end. There could be a very strong air sign coming in for you to help out, a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius. And it could also indicate that you're finally at a place where you can speak up and do something that you want. For some of you, this is about taking the first step in a new direction, but I really don't think you're going to be there until the end of the month. As far as love goes, I haven't been seeing a lot of love cards this month, but you have a lot of people cards, and I see the two most prominent ones being King of Pentacles and King of Swords. So very strong earth sign and a very strong air sign. So for the earth sign, possibly a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn, and we already talked about who the air sign could be. But of both of them, I think that it's sort of a choice of what you're looking for. We have communication here, and we have practicality here. I feel like for you, the focus should actually just be more on friendship and enjoying the company of others. That was your central card. But through that, you could actually end up meeting a very strong earth sign. I feel like the other one, the King of Swords, is actually more associated with your office or your business or your clientele. And this has more to do with sort of being clear with communication in that area. So overall, I think this is not a month to start a relationship. It's a month to figure out who you are and what you want. And that's going to put you in a place where when you're ready to maybe begin a relationship, it's a much easier place for you. For those of you that are married or in a long-term relationship, the important issues this month are really going to center around money, which is again a common theme, and health. Also, some of you just being so busy that you're maybe not connecting, and so making time to connect is really important this month. But I will say this: if you were very concerned or keen on success at work, I see that being very, very possible and prominent for you this month. So put the energy there if it feels good, just not at the expense of your health. All right, so let's expand your forecast and begin with health, which I was just talking about, and see what messages are coming through in that area. So your health card says release. And so for the release card, what you're trying to do is to avoid this, Ten of Swords reverse. So I would love for you to, if you've never talked to someone and you want to get a listening ear, think about talking to a counselor or a therapist. This can also be about doing anything that helps relieve or release the stress in your life. So any sort of physical activity that helps you with that, it's really important to take care of yourself in a way that doesn't necessarily involve medication or anything like that. This is more about physical and spiritual releases. It's going to be very healthy for you. Okay, for your wealth card this month, Golden Palace. This is pretty good. This is telling me that I think you're headed in a very good direction. You shouldn't worry too much. Just focus on putting things in a reliable, safe sort of sanctuary. This isn't a month for risky endeavors or for, kind of unusual prospects. You want to go in a very safe, conservative approach towards your finances this month. So I guess the main information there is be careful and be very thoughtful about how you invest. For love this month, the message is to say 3 magical words to anybody in your life that you think will benefit from it, but to say I love you. And they really are probably the most love anyway, but it's one of the most beautiful words, and it's the universal language if you really want to connect with. There are actually two different phrases you can use if you want to improve communication with angels. One is to begin your prayer with gratitude and say thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming. Thank you for always being there when, even when I forgot to say thank you or I didn't know you were here. And the second one is just to say I love you. This works with people too. And so you could just go up to someone in your life that's underappreciated and say thank you so much for always listening to me. You're great about that. And I don't say thanks enough. And then say, and I love you. And I love the fact that you're always there for me. You could just make that person's day with those 2 phrases, thank you and I love you. All right, for your destiny card, which is really where you're headed, what the direction of things look like at the moment, let's see what's coming through for you. The Phoenix. And the Phoenix it's a very good symbol of retrograde. You may have something towards the very end of the month, but with the Phoenix, surrender to change. And that kind of goes along with this idea of being receptive this month. But if things need to sort of move on, and with Ten of Swords, sometimes it's a relationship. And it could be this, there's another air sign that's coming through attached to that. So, there could be an air sign that you're ready to move past. This can also just be about letting go of something in your life. But whatever it is, surrender and then allow for new things to come in. The phoenix doesn't get defeated, it rises and it moves on to the next thing. So a great thing that you could use in meditation is that vision of a phoenix, of that fire, and you moving through it and coming through unscathed. All right, so let's review everything and get a clear focus for the month. Your channeled information was to be as receptive as possible, be open to receiving, the act of receiving. When we looked at your cards, there was a lot of focus on money. I will say that overall, it looks like money should be improving. For many of you, there's a lot of people depend on you. So I understand why it might be important for you to be successful. Don't just focus on success though. Health comes through loud and clear. I want you to take time to rest, to sleep, and also try not to stress out too much about any big decisions you have. Feel free to ask someone for their advice if you need it. When it comes to your money, research what changes you might want to make, but based on the finance card that I looked at when I looked at your money sector, I would say don't do the change this month. Be conservative in your approach. I know that that's important to you. It looks like you are making good strides with fortune, with money, but just remember that this isn't a path that you have to walk alone. You have to include others in that journey. Focus on stress and pain relief this month. That's the main thing that you want to do, is release this pain and release any discomfort so that you can open up your energy to receive other things. We talked about being careful with your money. Say I love you and also thank you to as many people as you can and whoever it feels most appropriate to say it to. Remember that whatever destruction happens or whatever sort of chaos happens this month, it's actually opening the way for better things. So if something has to fall apart, if a friendship falls away, if a situation, a job falls away, there's something better on the horizon. Okay? I hope this was helpful for you. If you ever would like to have more of a personalized one-on-one with me, I do offer readings, and I'll embed a link there so you can check out rates and availability. If you'd like to stay in touch, the easiest way to do that is subscribing to this channel, but I also have a newsletter, and I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And if you found that this was really useful and you just want to give back, there's also a link for donations as well. But that's optional. This is really my chance to sort of give back to you guys each month. And to that end, I hope that this gave you the guidance that you needed. And I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, and that I love you guys too. And I hope that you find all the success that you're looking for. It looks like that's really the main focus this month, and it's very Capricorn, so that makes sense. Just remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to others, to love yourself, and to try to take a break from work, because as we look at these cards here, there's a lot that you need to do this month. And remember, it's going to be a long distance run, so you want to basically pace yourself. All right, much love to you. See you again in a month's time. Until then, bye-bye.